Hey y'all, hey. So what we're going to do is go ahead, get this face beat, and I want to talk a little Cassie and Diddy. Just a little. I ain't going to talk too much because it ain't that much of my business, but black women. Let's give her a little bit more support I know she don't look quite like us, but let's give her a little bit more support than we're giving her. I know it's easier for us to say that it wouldn't be us, couldn't be us, shouldn't be us, because we were loved differently, right? All right, but what I need us to do is to keep in mind that everybody wasn't raised with the same level of love and respect, right? Where something as vile as urinating on you is something that you find endearing or bonding. What I can probably guarantee you, though, somewhere in the history of Cassie's life, her very young life, because she was 19 when this shit started, right? There is abuse or neglect. I can guarantee you that. I said from a place growing up very, very privileged, had my mom and dad together, my siblings, you know, all of that, where even if a grown man tried some crap like that, I had brothers, uncles, hell, sisters who would have came and rescued me, okay? Kicked in some doors waving the 4-4, okay? What I will say is I could never imagine being her. I know listening to the details, which she's very honestly articulating, because trust me, she could have made him seem a lot worse in a scenario. The world was already on her side. Her taking the stand and saying the things that she said, like even down to saying that she did a lot of stuff that she did because she loved him. And she's saying that today, even after all that he's done to her. But for her to come there and tell her genuine truth, like her role in all of it, whether it was coerced or not, whether she felt like she was trapped or not, that's for her to determine and decide. I don't think none of us can make that decision for her. What I find most amazing is that she endured all of that. And although she experienced a lot of physical damage from it and mental damage from it, she still is somewhat whole. Where most people will end up like Jaguar Wright. I mean, let's talk about the grace she has on the stand. Being able to detail some of the most hideous things I've ever heard of in my life. With very little emotional breakdown. I mean, you know, of course, there's going to be some evidently, but very little under the circumstances. Very little emotional breakdown under the circumstances. She deserves credit for how she's holding up through, which is technically abuse again. And who else we going to give some credit is that husband, Mr. Alex Fines, because we can say she should have just left. Yeah. I mean, most people who are abused by normal people don't just leave. They take years to leave. I mean, some never leave. Some die there, right? So we're going to give him some credit because he gave her the strength to move on. He helped her get through it. He helped her get through it. And trust and believe that man put his life on the line doing so. We're not talking about no regular old Joe Blow. You know, you talking about someone who literally had the key to the city. Someone who literally ran the city. The other thing we want to give her credit for is that she could have just took her little 20 million. Sat quietly and not gave a fuck. But she knew that her testimony was going to encourage somebody else to tell their story. And we're only like, what, day 4 of the trial now? We ain't even heard the worst of the worst. So we just need to be sit back, watching, in supporting this girl, because I feel bad for her. And have to do this at 8 months pregnant. I know she was forced to some extent because her involvement was very deep in this. So I think that she was somewhat forced to testify at 8 months pregnant. Tell a part of her story that she probably otherwise only told privately and probably never wanted to ever tell it openly as she is having to today. But I hope she doesn't read social media at all after she comes off those stands, because it's the women who should be a little bit more supportive of her at this particular time. And we're not. This entire trial, though, is definitely going to be marked in history. It will change the future for other young Cassies. You know, because before, you know, we heard a lot of stuff about the entertainment business. But to be able to tie into some of those stories through somebody else's trauma and realize that, you know, some of the other stories that you heard, although they sound outlandish, are actually true. I mean, it's all just too much, right? It's all just too much. But I think it's a reality that we needed to see. But again, an opportunity to support a victim, not victimize a victim. Yeah. And last but not least, kudos to the kids, okay? All of them. I ain't too crazy about the sons, but I have to kudos all of the kids, because it has to be hard to hear these type of things about your parents, whether you think you know it or not. Like, I think the sons kind of know what kind of dad they got, because they was kind of being groomed to be that type of man themselves. But those girls, we know Puffy protected. We know he protected. And first of all, them, they stay sharp. Stay sharp. On camera, off camera, them girls stay sharp. Okay? They are definitely a replica of their mom. But to have to sit there and endure that, and the screams and the shouts from the people on the streets, kudos to y'all. Kudos to the kids. I would venture to say that some of us, if not all of us, have an untold secret that we never will want to share publicly. But none could possibly be to the extent of what young Cassie suffered, and what the matured Cassie continues to have to suffer. So my message is that I just wish people would be a little light on her, because we can't relate because we can't relate. Like I said, when you have fathers and brothers who will show up for you in situations like this, even if it was a bad situation, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all been in that bad relationship where your brother wished the ninja would, right? And he told you that over and over again, and he told the ninja that over and over again, I wish you would, right? Cassie didn't have that. I wish she did. Peace.